Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the NFL podcast. It's Week 19 review, Week 20 preview. For all of you keeping up, it's the playoffs. It's the sort of the last bit of the playoffs now. We're going into the conference playoffs, and then that's it. Other than the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl, the season will be done. Who's your Super Bowl prediction? Find out if ours have changed this week and see what sort of quiz we've got for you. Play along at home, see what sort of score you get. This is Cookiecast NFL podcast, Week 19 review, Week 20 preview. Go. What I've realised is that, when we try and press all the cameras at the same time, it makes it really difficult when I'm actually doing the coding. So what we should do is press 1, 2, 3, 4, and yes, that would also additionally cover the breaks.
Yes.
But hey, lives and learns, as I keep saying, seems to be my phrase of 2019. And speaking of 2019, this is the 2019 podcast, where we talk about all things 2019.
Definitely isn't.
No?
Oh. I'm almost certain that he's not.
Well, as you can see by the way we're dressed, this is the Flavoured Water podcast, where we talk about everything flavoured water.
You know.
This guy, he definitely knows.
That almost sounded carbonated.
They sometimes do, don't know why. Because it wouldn't be the podcast if I wasn't warm. I'm going to try and remember to sit up. That's the other thing I've noticed when I'm editing. Just this fucking huge gut.
Oh my.
So, it's Cookiecast, Yorkshire's #1 NFL podcast. Week 19, technically. It's the second week of the playoffs, going into week 20, which is the last week of the playoffs.
It was the divisional round, and then it's the conference round.
I don't know words.
Wildcard, divisional, conference,
Super Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl in the middle.
I'm your host, Cookie, and I'm here today joined by my glamorous co-host, Mr. Paul Williams. Hashtag Reverse Undertaker. And we are joined by the one and only Stats Mistress, Miss Leanne Davies. Hashtag get you some of them stats.
Can't see that one taking off.
Yeah.
Somehow.
No?
It's not. Yeah, you never know.
And as we're talking playoff football, I decided, playoffs. Yeah, okay. I know the teams that are in the playoffs. So today I am going to wear a Miami Dolphins jersey, because they're not in the playoffs. And it's a Jarvis Landry jersey, and he doesn't play for the Dolphins. So I'm ticking almost all the boxes. So yeah, here we are.
Just think that this time next year,
Super Bowl.
this guy will lead in the charge to the Super Bowl, baby.
Leading the Chargers to the Super Bowl.
Unless something goes drastically wrong.
Just saying,
Speaking of the Chargers.
Speaking of the Chargers, yeah, fuck them guys.
Before you do speak of the Chargers,
let
let us speak of the podcast.
Oh.
Yes, let's speak a word of the podcast, shall we?
Word of the podcast has been taken from a word.
The dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy!
Well, we weren't sure, to be honest.
Oh!
The word that was mentioned
I know what the word is.
during one of the games on, it could have been Saturday or Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't believe it to be a real word.
Yep.
Turns out it is.
Yeah.
But we was like, that's got to be word of the podcast.
Yeah.
So, it is adrenalised.
Fuck off. That's not a word.
So, a commentator on a game over the weekend said adrenalised, and I went, oh, so we're just making up words now, are we?
That is not real.
So you can just go fuck yourself. Looked up, real word.
Real word. To be affected with adrenaline.
I was going to say, does it mean to be infused
Yes.
with adrenaline or something?
Yeah, quite simply.
Well, interesting, I see.
I'm feeling adrenalised right now.
Well, aren't we all?
I'm just, because I just generally forget, so I'm just going to get it out of the way now by going. After the start of the first quarter of the Saints Eagles game, I was feeling a little adrenalised, but by the back end of that game, whew, I was super adrenalised. Right, so we're going to talk. No, we're not. So, got a little bit of business to take care of. Podcast business. We've been putting something off for weeks now. We've been teasing. Unfortunately, the man himself, Benji Keep, is a very, very busy man and not dead. When you are dealing with saving lives, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not talking any lives, we're talking mostly children's lives. When that's your bread and butter, that's what you do for a living. You can't always free yourself up to come on Yorkshire's #1 NFL podcast.
Especially when you live in Berkshire.
So, you can't say much to the text that says, really sorry mate, not going to get out of theatre in time to do the podcast. You kind of go, okay then.
Now when he says theatre, you've taken the step of assuming he's in the operating theatre. When it could be that he's
on the boards.
He's enthralled by the performance he's got playing in front of him at that time.
Possibly, but knowing that for a job...
He's been to go see Anne Frank the musical or something like that.
I believe it is the operating theatre, and I believe he is literally saving people's lives. There was something also about him being on call. It's a very, very busy time for hospitals. Take from that what you will. So, Benji was unfortunately our wooden spoon recipient. Our last place
winner.
Wooden spoon winner. Last place in the Fantasy League. We've been trying to get him on for a couple of weeks. Hasn't come to fruition. So, as some of you long-time listeners, first-time callers know, this was our last place trophy for our league. This will be winging its way to Benji Keep to put in his car, and that will be going to his address, and his address is...
Excellent.
So, there you go, Benji. You're a winner, even if
You're a loser.
you are a loser.
Ooh.
I actually saw the first runner-up of our league today. Made fun of him as he walked past. So there you go, Benji. They'll be winging their way to you tomorrow. So by the time this podcast is available, you might have these in your possession, and you could then take a picture of you with these. Maybe a little video of you in your car using these. Send it to us. Get it up there. Just saying. Hashtag.
What she said.
Almost definitely.
Get it up there.
Right. Let's talk divisional round. Not conference round. Divisional round football. Now, what I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, is that my new method of picking teams apparently has a little bit of a better success rate. So, game 1 of week 19, the divisional round NFL 2018/19, the season as it is now, is the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Indianapolis Colts. The Chiefs dominated by beating the Colts 31-13. One of those, we watched the game. I kind of, like, some of these games have been difficult in certain ways. quite a lot to say about the Saints-Eagles game, but we'll come to that in a bit. The Chiefs, although they won, didn't look as strong as they have up till this point. The Chiefs obviously now go up against the Patriots.
Spoiler alert.
Oops. The Chiefs could potentially go up against the Patriots. Some quick editing to do there. The Chiefs could go up against the Patriots if the Patriots won their game. And the team that was out on the field this weekend gone, I think they're going to struggle going up against the Patriots.
Maybe.
Mahomes was...
Maybe they just wanted to lull them into a false sense of security.
Well,
maybe they did.
So this is the argument that people had about when the Rams got beat by the Bears earlier in the season. Because the idea was that they were potentially going to have to play them a little bit further down the stretch. And they didn't want to show them all of their offensive weapons, things like that.
It's interesting.
Half speed, etc., etc.
Because there was a lot of talk about the previous time the Chiefs faced the Patriots, if it is in fact the Patriots that will face this time, and a lot about how the Patriots are going to be watching that footage, going through that footage with a fine-tooth comb and looking at all of the ways that they play. So that would potentially make sense. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs up till that game, I had quite a lot of faith in the Chiefs after that game. Maybe it's trickery. Who knows?
So, unfortunately, I missed the games as I was away this weekend. So I've only seen bits of certain games. But I listened to the Around the NFL podcast breakdown of it. And they said something along the lines of, this is the best that the Chiefs' defence has played in a long time. So maybe it's just that the offence is... Bear in mind, it had snowed before the game.
And it was snowing...
And it was snowing during.
And there was an icy layer. So
that you've got to take that into account.
We were saying, going down on that ground, hard, covered in a layer of ice, you're cold anyway. It's going to be a painful hitting of the ground.
But that's just foosball. That's how you have to. That's just what you have to contend.
Foosball and bitter. Game 2, week whatever, you know what week it is now. The Rams went up against the Cowboys. The Cowboys played very well. Got a score of 22. The Rams played better. They got 30.
Nobody died.
The Cowboys season did.
The Cowboys season did. I feel they've done well to get up to this point, but I had a lot of issues with the Cowboys in and around the, like in certain other situations that we could reference. Take Zeke out of the Cowboys, and what have you got left? I said to you, didn't I? When you build your entire team around, one player, what if he got injured? What if he,
I think they had...
Amari Cooper was...
Yeah, they had addressed that slightly with the addition of a Cooper.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of tight ends who are starting to come to the fore now. But, yeah, they definitely need to...
they need to
improve at the skill position.
They went to playoffs, and they didn't go out in the first round of the playoffs either. Well, like some, including me, suspected they would.
Just gives Dak and Zeke another
chance, isn't it?
Well, it just gives them more experience for next season and the future seasons to come.
I don't think I made any sort of attempts to hide that. I wasn't a huge believer that the Cowboys were going to go any further than this. But having said that, I now feel that they've done well, and I'd like to see what they manage to do next season. Depends, because you've got that off-season drop-off where players just fire players left, right, and centre. Obviously, you got the draft and things like that. So we'll just see once the dust settles what that team looks like.
No first round pick for the Cowboys.
No. Game 3.
Boo. Boo.
Patriots Chargers. I'm still sticking with what I was saying.
It's a result nobody wanted.
It's a result nobody wanted.
But everyone knew was going to happen.
But is anybody... it's always the same thing, isn't it? Never bet against the Patriots. Never bet against Brady in the playoffs.
To be fair, to give them the due, they did score touchdowns on their first 4 possessions, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, then you're pretty much going to win every time you play.
I mean, at this point in time, the Patriots are just dangerous. They play well enough to get to this point in time, and then they are just dominant. And this is what worries me about next week's games.
Brady checking it.
Surprising.
Was it
28.
when the Chargers scored first, and they were saying this was their only game that they were coming from a...
No, the Patriots did score first. They scored on the opening possession, but they said that during the course of the season, at home, they've only been behind for something like 25 minutes or something like that, and all of that time came in one game.
Yeah.
And they've not lost at home all season, but they're not at home against the Chiefs. So
no. So 28 for the Chargers, 41 for the Patriots. No real surprises to see that the Patriots won that one. I don't feel like I can get behind this Chargers thing. We'll see what happens next season. You know, they're always there. They're always around. Don't know whether they'll address any of the issues that didn't see them go any further. But, you know, when you're going up against teams like the Patriots, I think the conversations have started. I've had 2 or 3 conversations there. I know our groups or the sort of phrase of, if it ends up being a Patriots Super Bowl, I'm out. And I think we've sort of fallen into that.
Well, you aren't going to get your Patriots Cowboys snooze fest like you thought, so don't worry.
That is true. And to be fair, any team now that goes
still be rooting for the other team.
I saw a picture. Did you get invited to that NFL group by Benji? I got invited to this group. It's NFL UK fans thing, and it was the Chiefs Patriots game. People are rooting for the Chiefs. People are rooting for the Patriots. It was a picture of America, and every state across the board was just Chiefs, and then New England. And our 4th and final game was the Saints versus the Eagles. Now, this was just crazy off the charts.
Balls out.
So the game starts. So Saints decide to take the ball. Drew winds up, throws the ball straight to an Eagles player, and it's like, holy shit. The Eagles then decide probably best to score with the ball. So that was that. And then they scored again. So I think it was 5 minutes into the first quarter, 14 to the Eagles, 0 to the Saints. Not looking good for the Saints. However, the game ended 14 for the Eagles, 20 to the Saints. To start with, I was like, I can't believe the fucking Eagles are going to beat the Saints. I can't believe it. I knew there was going to be something about this game. The Eagles with Foles. As it sort of went through the game, that sort of started going the other way. And I was like, I can't believe the Saints are going to win this. I can't believe it. The Eagles were doing so well. It was a good game. You didn't see?
I saw bits of it. We just got back, so I had it on the tablet, and I was sort of in bed, falling asleep as I was watching it, but not because it was boring, just because I was knackered.
I've said this for a few weeks now. I cannot watch live football. So I'd watched the first half on the TV, and I was like, I can't do this. The adverts kill me. So in the end, I put the PlayStation on the TV, put the game on my phone, put the phone here where you're sat with a box of strepsils propping the phone up, and then I'd watch the game on the phone, and then the moment the adverts start, I'd be like, and then, oh, okay. And there was a point where there was like 2 Eagles players got injured back to back, and I think the game was on for about 20 seconds between adverts, and I'm like, you are fucking killing me here. Can't do it live. It's too painful. It's too painful. Because like you brought this up, and I think what's made it a lot easier to deal with when you watch the Super Bowl is we'll watch it on BBC. So you've got the guys that do the Around the NFL podcast. who are talking in those bits. You don't get the adverts. You get somebody saying, "Oh, well, this is happening here," and "Oh, I can't believe that player there," and it makes it bearable. But because they're the same adverts. They're the same adverts.
Yeah, I have noticed that about the American coverage. The adverts don't really tend to change.
It's that McDonald's one with Kelsey in. It's the best.
I've not seen
Where
that
he's
one.
doing his little
Who's doing
victory
his
dance from getting a touchdown, but then
Or
he's
the
doing
State
it in
Farm.
McDonald's.
Or the State Farm one with Rodgers, or the Visa card with Drew Brees, or any of the what's his name from the Panthers?
Greg Olsen?
No, the coach
Ron Rivera
is doing Pepsi. Yep, yeah, it's just painful. So, how did my predictions work out?
Your predictions, you got one correct.
that's
Because you
a
backed the
shame.
Patriots to win, which meant that you wanted them to lose.
I did.
So that was the only one you got right. So that meant that everyone else that you wanted to win
lost. No, won.
won.
But
That's how you do
But you'd
it.
chosen the other two.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. I got 2 right, and Paul and Matt both got 3.
Which one
Did
you
we get
wrong?
the same 3?
No.
So he backed.
He backed the Colts.
Colts,
Oh.
because he wanted a Colts Super Bowl.
So he went for the Colts, whereas I went for the
Chiefs. And then he backed the
The
Patriots.
Patriots, and I went for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Slag.
Yeah.
Does it start to clock then?
I have some stats.
Jesus, that comes round quick, doesn't it?
6 stats relating solely to the Cowboys-Rams game.
Oh, hello. In-depth analysis. I like it.
With credit going to...
It's actually quite good for me, because this is the game I saw absolutely none of.
Okay. This had crazy stats, apparently. Credit to Cameron De Silva. So, stat number 1. The Rams set franchise record for most rushing yards in a postseason game. You've probably heard just how great the Rams' ground game was on Saturday night, but you may not realise just how historic it was. Their 273 yards rushing were the most in a postseason game in franchise history. The previous record was also set against the Cowboys when the Rams rushed for 269 yards against Dallas in 1986. In that game, Eric Dickerson had 248 yards on the ground, which is an NFL postseason record. Anderson's 6-yard run on 2nd and 5 with 1 minute 46 left to play not only sealed the win, but put the Rams just over the edge of that previous franchise record. It wasn't his best run of the night, but it had plenty of meaning behind it.
On that point there, CJ Anderson, where the hell's he been all season? Apparently he got released by the Raiders.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So all I ever remember is CJ Anderson being at the Broncos.
Yep.
So CJ Anderson was at the Broncos, and for the one season a little while ago, the Broncos were really good. His name was there, and then he just faded into the background. And then, like you said, they were like, "Oh, he got released by the Raiders." I was like, "When was he at the Raiders?"
Well, I suppose if you think about it, because they had Marshawn Lynch at the start of the season, which was obviously the number one back, and they had Doug Martin as the backup. So I'm assuming he was there as the 3rd string running back. And then when Doug Martin was getting yards, they obviously thought, well, we don't really need him. And obviously released him. And then the Rams picking him up was a bit of an inspired selection.
Because they were saying, because he's so short and so stocky, he's like a bowling ball. So he just goes through them. He's got such a low centre of gravity, they have trouble bringing him down. And I was saying, like, when you look at him on the field, he's so broad.
But that's the thing, you never see whippet running backs, do you?
No.
They're always pretty hench guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey's probably the smallest guy, and he's still pretty hench.
Yeah.
But part of the parcel of it.
Game number 2. Todd Gurley and CJ Anderson make history together. The two cogs in the Rams' dominant rushing attack were Gurley and Anderson, who ran for 115 and 123 yards respectively. With each reaching 100 yards rushing, they became the first running back tandem to accomplish the feat in a playoff game since Terrell Davis and Derek LaVille did in 1997. Additionally, they're the only running back duo to each rush for at least 100 yards in a playoff game in Rams history. Number 3.
Man.
Rams had the most first downs in postseason franchise history. The Rams led the NFL in first downs this year with 401, setting a single-season franchise record. Their innate ability to pick up first downs continued on Saturday night against Dallas, thrusting them to victory. They recorded 30 first downs, which is the most in Rams history in the playoffs. They shattered the previous record set of 26 in Super Bowl 36 against the Patriots. Only 13 teams in NFL history have had more than 30 first downs in a postseason game, but none had more than the Rams on the ground. LA's 17 first downs rushing are now the most in a playoff game in NFL history.
Do you see that stat that the Patriots had more first downs than the Chargers had plays?
Really?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not sure what number this is. 4.
4.
Anderson is the first player ever to have this hot of a stat. Since Anderson joined the Rams in Week 16, he's been nothing short of great. He rushed for 299 yards in his first 2 games before adding another 123 on Saturday. He's the first player in NFL history to rush for at least 100 yards and a touchdown in each of his first 3 games with a new team. That's not the only notable stat from Anderson's performance. He continued a remarkable trend of outrushing his 9-game total with the Panthers in each of the past 3 games. In 9 games with the Panthers, he had just 104 yards. Number 5. 5th lowest rushing total allowed by Rams in postseason history. As impressive as the Rams' rushing attack was on Saturday night, the run defense was equally great. They held Ezekiel Elliott to just 47 yards rushing on 20 carries, limiting the Cowboys to only 50 yards as a team. Not only was that Dallas's lowest rushing total of the season, but it was the 5th fewest rushing yards allowed by the Rams in postseason history. The fewest rushing yards the Rams have ever allowed in a playoff game was 35 yards on 34 attempts against the Redskins in 1945.
So just over 1 yard per attempt. Holy balls.
Holy balls. 4th time the Rams won a playoff game with 0 touchdown passes. Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdown passes in the regular season. Jared Goff threw 32 of his own, ranking among the league leaders. Yet despite having 82 touchdown passes combined, neither winning quarterback from Saturday's games threw a single one. It's just the 4th time in franchise history that the Rams won a playoff game despite having 0 touchdown passes. They've had 12...
That is insane.
They've had 12 such games with 0 touchdown passes, losing 8 of them, so this performance was certainly out of the ordinary. There you go.
There you go, ground and pound.
Yeah, gotta get it done, haven't you? Gotta get it done.
If you can't get it done through the air, poke him in the eye. Hey, what?
Yes.
Right, let's talk week 20.
Ooh.
Conference
Championships. Now we're down to deuce games. Deuces, people. Deuces. 4 teams remain.
4 teams. 3 games.
Week after this will be the Pro Bowl, so that's great for everyone. And then it's time to get it done. So which of these teams can get it done? Let's find out. First game now. This is the game of the week for me.
I'm scared.
Because this is the Saints.
Why are you scared?
Versus the Rams. Because
someone's going to win and someone's going to lose.
Exactly. And obviously we get the concept of games, but someone in this game is going to win and someone's going to lose.
That's like saying I'm so scared for the quiz that me and James will do later on because one of us has got to win and one of us has got to lose.
We don't care about that though.
I'm not scared about that. I can probably predict the winner. I'm not.
Yeah, boy.
Sure.
It's James's turn.
It's James's week.
Time.
Even though last week it was, loads of Forest questions. So, Saints versus the Rams. I mean...
How the hell... I mean, this is literally... I know I've said all during the season that there's been tough picks and stuff like that. This is... Had that rushing game not happened for the Rams on Saturday, I'd have said it was probably fairly straightforward for the Saints, but they've made it more interesting. It was already going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've now got two incredibly good running backs just makes it
Sunday
so much more.
8:05. That makes a difference.
8:08?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that the early one?
Mm.
Yeah, it's really annoying that they do it this way. Because this has happened for the last couple... Well, I said the last couple of years, pretty much every year. You can watch the first one, but unless you like take the day off after that or just go to work knackered, you can't really watch the second game. And it's quite irritating.
I saw something that I don't even know what it was on, but somebody had posted a tweet and it was like, I can't believe I've just read this tweet. And it was somebody tweeting about how it's really annoying that the NFL put games on so late. But it was like a UK fan tweeting about it's really unfair that they have to be on that late and why would they do this, but because you can't watch the games, it's so unfair. And I'm like, bearing in mind that I was listening to somebody a podcast to somebody, big shout out Bill Blair's podcast. He was talking about watching the I can't think how he words it, the Premier League, but it's worse than that. Like when he says
it EFL.
No, when he says
BPL.
When he says Premier League, it's like I have to stop and think,
Premier League.
Who is he talking about? And then it's like, oh, he's saying Premier. It's so far removed from that word. But he's like, oh, that game's on at 4:30 a.m. I'm never going to watch that. It's like, how do you think the UK NFL fans feel?
4:30 a.m. I can't think of a single game that would ever be on that early in the States.
Some Liverpool game. He's decided to go with Liverpool as his team. In the Premier League.
Premier League. I honestly can't think about how that would work. But anyway,
Saints Rams.
Oh my God! Don't make me pick.
I have who I want to win, but who I think will win.
See, I'm not that bothered about this game because I'd be happy either way.
Yeah. I am
not like the other game we'll go on to later on.
Jesus, I am in a position where, personally, I'm going to go on this one. Personally, I would like the Rams to win.
That's where I'm at.
I feel that the Rams, it feels like not more deserving. It's not the right way of putting it, but that's the way I kind of want to say it.
I look at it two ways,
but I don't know.
The first way is that if the Rams win, it's a chance for them to go on. I think I said this before in the podcast. It's a chance for either them or the Chiefs to really set a marker down and say we're going to be the team to beat for the next 10 years. However, I wouldn't mind Breeze getting the chance to win another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because he's going to go down as one of the best of all time. And if he retires with only one Super Bowl, it's like the Peyton Manning thing. If he retires with only one Super Bowl, it's a bit like, but you know, what could you have had and stuff like that.
Brady's already the GOAT. So
well, yeah, that's the
Breeze of the boat.
That's never going to change. I mean, yeah.
Put it out there. Send it to the NFL.
Hashtag boat.
Hashtag boat.
Yeah. Drew Breeze.
The Breeze. The breeziest
Breeze
of
boat.
all time. The Breeze boat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I would like to see the Rams win, but
you think the Saints will win?
That's what I'm thinking.
You can't work on past games. Never pick a club based on a bad shot.
So it's weird. The way that the Saints shut down the Eagles after the first 20 minutes was insane on Sunday. So if they do that, if they can do that to the Rams, then the Rams won't have a chance of beating them.
I will predict first.
Go on then.
I want the Rams to win. I think the Saints will win, but I'm going to back the Rams.
Okay. I want the Rams to win. I think the Saints can do it. It's experience versus a team that's playing really well.
Saints are at home.
Oh. I think you're going to have to put me down for the Saints. But I want everyone to know that if the Rams win, I'm like, Rams won.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. I think it's you've got the teams you've got the team you want to win, but I'm more than happy to watch either one of those teams in the Super Bowl because they're both very good offensively and they've both got a very good defense. Whereas in the other game, I'm sick of seeing a certain team in the Super Bowl. So
somebody else's turn.
Yeah.
This is the year, I've been saying this for a few weeks, this is the year that it feels right when you look at the competition that the Patriots have had. This is the year that if somebody said to you, the Patriots aren't going this time, and it said somebody else, you'd be like, that feels right. Which means it's going to feel worse when it's wrong.
I think the main factor is going to be the home field advantage.
So you think it's insane?
I think the Saints are going to win it basically because the Rams don't have the elements that they can use to their advantage. So had it been outdoors, you can't control certain aspects of it.
That same stadium is dangerous. It reminds me.
You can set the temperature. You can set.
Yeah.
You can't set the noise, but you can.
But there's a lot of noise.
The home fans will control the noise.
They're saying the Eagles have been practicing by pumping noise into their practice grounds to try and adjust it. Yeah. Well, they were saying Foles loves it loud. He thinks some works best when it's loud. So that wasn't an issue for him.
That's how every team should really sort of play, to be honest with you. Every team should practice with getting whistled and heckled and everything because as soon as you play on the road, you know that's what you're going to get. Yeah. So it surprises me that more teams don't adopt that principle. I mean, they might, but yeah, put me down for a narrow Saints.
Well,
win.
I mean that's it. Isn't it?
I reckon we could. So what was the game? What did the game finish early in the season? Maybe 40, 37, something like that.
40.
I think it was 43-40.
Yeah, it was real close.
Yeah.
Real.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get another similar scoreline.
Yeah, they were saying up till that point it was the highest scoring game until the Rams Chiefs.
That game was absolutely insane.
Speaking of the Chiefs, our only other game of the week, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday
in Arrowhead,
20-12. I mean, is the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the New England Patriots. Like I say, that picture is so nailed on. Everybody who's an NFL fan across the world who isn't a Patriots fan is rooting for the Chiefs in this game.
I don't know if it's as cut and dry as that. I mean, there's going to be people out there that just appreciate good players, and you can't, as much as people say he's a smug bastard and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you have to give him his due. He is basically the greatest quarterback that's ever played the game.
Maybe if he wasn't a smug bastard,
but
you can't. To take.
You can't have a go at the fact that he's got confidence in himself. Why wouldn't he have confidence in himself? He's the winningest quarterback of all.
That's not it though. That isn't the issue. The issue is when you have to look at his miserable fucking face on the sidelines when he's not winning and he's having a tantrum because he's not winning and I'm not winning and I'm not winning. And then, I'm a fucking big fucking boss because I forgot 4 fucking rings and I'm not winning. 5 rings.
But there are other great quarterbacks out there that are not smug bastards. So you
would they be in that position though? Or would they be the same if they had 5 Super Bowl rings?
Nobody gets a fucking chance to find out.
Be better.
Be greater.
I do admit I don't want to see him in another Super Bowl, but I don't think you can't argue with the success and the level of consistency that they have. That's just my point.
So I think I'm going to agree with what you were saying earlier. I think the Chiefs knew they could win the last game, so I think they started playing possum a little. Because all that the Patriots are going to be looking at now, Mahomes missed a few shots there, he threw that ball weird, didn't he? And I was saying, you put Mahomes in the season up against Brady on any day of the week, Mahomes had that laser accuracy. He could throw a ball whilst being sacked, he could throw a ball at a
With his
45-degree
left
angle, looking in a different direction whilst
So
going
once he
to
does
the
that,
ground,
to a handle like on the side, isn't it?
whilst the player he's throwing to is going down to the ground, and that ball's caught.
It's sick that he's that good this young.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh, he missed that. And I was watching the game and I'm like, he shouldn't have missed that. There's no way he should have missed that. Why is he throwing that ball? What's he doing? That's almost possibly exactly what they were doing. Because I think they knew walking out onto that field that they could win that game. And knowing that was their last opportunity to go, I'm just going to put that ball over there to make people think that I couldn't make it.
I think you've overthought this way too much.
But at this stage, they're going up against the champions of champions, the team that can beat any other team. Their Super Bowl legacy alone will live on. They're going up against the Patriots. At this point in time, this is the time to start going, well, maybe we missed that throw. Maybe we dropped that ball. Maybe we don't look as good as we have done up till this point. Maybe we get in their heads at this stage. Or maybe they just had an off day. So I'm going to go reverse psychology on this one. I really, really want the Chiefs to win this. And I want to see 53-14. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Chiefs spank the Patriots and chase them out of Dodge.
Okay.
So put me down for the Patriots.
Yep. Okay.
So what do you say? What do you say?
I'm going to defer this one.
You're deferring the ball?
I want the Chiefs to win. So I'm going to
Shock.
back the Chiefs, as I have with the Rams. But I think it'll be a Patriots-Saints Super Bowl.
Somebody's going to be crying, and I think it's going to be this guy.
What did I actually predict for the Super Bowl?
Edelman,
Patriots-Saints.
just on Sunday, Edelman looked
He was getting it done.
unbeatable.
He was getting
at
it
times.
done.
He was just making people miss tackles. He looked the best he's looked all season.
So
Which
that
is obviously,
means-
I think they brought up a stat that he went second all time in post-season receptions. So the only receiver who's in front of him now is Jerry Rice, who's got the most he's got the most yards of all time. So
that means the Patriots
he's
are
putting
bench
himself.
him on
He's putting
Sunday.
himself in that upper echelon of higher level receivers. He's stepping up because obviously they're down to the last few receivers because they've lost Josh Gordon and stuff like that through the season. I reckon it's another one that should in theory be a tight game.
It should
But again, I think the home field will come into it, and the Chiefs Stadium is notoriously loud as it is anyway. And I reckon they could make it a hostile environment. And yeah, I'll go for a narrow Chiefs victory.
So that's it. That is your games. Your only games. You've got 2 to pick from. Stay up and watch the late one. I encourage it. I will almost definitely watch some of that game.
So it might be a suck it and see till half time jobby and see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm prepared to give it some time. If it looks like the Patriots are destroying the Chiefs, I'll just go to bed and check the score in the morning. Because obviously we can rewatch on Game Pass and stuff.
Yeah.
Whose Super Bowl predictions are not possible at this point?
I've shammed myself here.
You based on the
I said
predictions you've
Chiefs
made
Rams.
for those games, your Super Bowl doesn't
I did
pay.
say Chiefs Rams at the start of it, but that was before the fucking Eagles screwed me over with the Bears. Because that's what I was predicating all that on. Because I was having the Cowboys going to New Orleans, turning over the Saints, and then going to LA and getting absolutely shafted, as they did. But that would have come this week rather than last week.
Do you care to revise your prediction?
No.
You sticking with it?
I'll stick with it. And then I've got, somewhat of a 50-50 shot.
You've said Chiefs Saints. Still stands. And I said Patriots Saints.
Yeah, I'll stick with it for now.
So
I might change it next week.
So we're all in with a chance of actually getting the Super Bowl we called right at the start.
All in with a chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Put those away. God's sake. I'm not kissing that ring.
I don't know where it's been.
Disgraceful.
So, is it time?
Now, is it not better to
Here
do
we
this
go.
next week
Here we go.
when we haven't got any games to cover?
Here we go.
Because we can't really cover the Pro Bowl.
No.
Because no one really knows what the fuck's going to happen. With it.
I remember the year that I got really excited for the Pro Bowl. And I was like, oh, can't wait, Pro Bowl. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Sat down to watch, I was like, my God, this is so boring.
I don't know why they bother playing it.
Care.
It's a weird game.
It's just like, I don't care who wins. The red
Everyone
guys
always-
or the blue guys.
Everyone always just is going through the motions. It's always a bit of a non-event,
Right.
really.
I
And
don't give a shit who
obviously
wins.
the players that are from either side that's at the Super Bowl won't go to the game, so therefore they're drafting loads of replacements. The players that originally got picked, some of them say they're injured and drop out. So you never ever
Well,
get like
I was saying
Antonio
Brown.
Antonio's not going, so Juju's
Juju's
taking his
picked him.
place.
Yeah.
Because nobody can get Antonio on the phone,
classic.
apparently.
I'm not sure if that's still the case.
So did you have a quiz?
I have a quiz. A short quiz. We have.
No way.
He's early. The special guest is early. I'll just text him and let him know we're finishing up.
Will be 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes, people. So is this on the phones?
Phone or piece of paper, whichever you prefer. What
I
works best?
can do.
Paul?
I can do phone.
Okay.
Come on then, let's do phone.
Okay. Are we ready?
Not just yet.
Okay. Number 1.
I knew she was going to.
Go on then.
Who holds the single season record for touchdown receptions with 23? A. Randy Moss. B. Jerry Rice. C. Calvin Johnson. D. Terrell Owens.
We've had this quiz.
Oh yes, that is question number 1.
I'm like, pretty sure I know this one.
Question number 10. No, question number 11.
So question number 1.
Question one,
starting
then.
at 11.
Hang on, I'm very confused.
Just start at 11 and say question 1.
But there is only a question 11.
What left?
Yeah.
It's a one question shootout. Yeah, boy.
I think I'm in with a chance. I've got 50. No, I've got a 25% chance of getting this right. So there's no quiz this week, ladies and gentlemen, because apparently someone didn't check the rest of the quiz to see that there was more than 11 questions last week.
No, hold on, right.
I think we
Number
can. Do you want to
Right.
whistle or shall I?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Right, sorry. Sorry. I just started on the wrong question.
Oh dear.
Oh, we hadn't. Wait, that one out.
Well, I had to go back and check what.
Nobody
I've already asked
cares.
you. Right, question number 1.
Question.
Who has the most received?
Who holds the record for the longest field goal in NFL history? A. Tom Dempsey. B. Matt Prater. C. Jason Elam. D. Sebastian Janikowski.
Seabass!
Question number 2. New England Patriots have won the AFC East every year since 2003 except for one season. Which rival claimed the 2008 crown? A. Bills, sorry. B. Dolphins. C. The Jets. D. The Patriots.
I'd love it if someone picks D.
So D then, yeah.
Incredible. Incredible!
Worst quiz ever!
Question number 3. CBS paid a record $550,000 fine after this musician had a wardrobe malfunction during the Super Bowl
Yeah.
38 halftime show.
Yeah.
A. Britney Spears. B. Janet Jackson. C. Madonna. D. Tina Turner. Question number 4. As MVP of the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady received a Chevrolet truck. To which teammate did he give the keys? A. Darrell Revis, B. Rob Gronkowski, C. Julian Edelman, D. Malcolm Butler. Question 5. Michael Vick was the first quarterback taken in the 2001 draft. Who was the second? A. Kyle Boller, B. Drew Brees, C. Joey Harrington, D. Byron Leftwich.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Come on, cast your mind back to
Don't
2001.
like that.
Question 6. This quarterback has the longest active streak of consecutive starts at 178.
That might not be right now.
A. Rams, B. Bears, C. Giants, D. Colts. I feel like that question does not make sense.
Interesting.
Longest active streak of consecutive starts at 178 for which team? I'm guessing is the question.
Jesus. Did it not say? Did it give the
Which
actual quarterback name?
No, it doesn't.
It's not. It wasn't like a picture of the quarterback, was it?
No.
Oh my God! Right. So give us the stats again. Record consecutive number of starts, and it was how many starts?
178.
And the 4 teams in question were.
I think that might be the options for a different question.
Oh, wow.
Please, comments, suggestions.
I've got a suggestion.
No, Andrew.
Did we? Okay, let's just move on.
Are we just leaving that one as it is? Or are we having a different question? It's question 6.
Which NFL team has never sported a logo of any kind on their helmet? A. The 49ers, B. The Chiefs, C. The Jets, D. The Browns.
I'm having that as question 6, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Question 7. Long known by their Lone Star logo, what was the original proposed team name for the Dallas Cowboys? A. The Rangers, B. The Steers, C. The Outlaws, D. The Lariats.
Oh, bloody hell.
Question number 8.
Yep.
Which NFL stadium was the first to use artificial turf?
Ugh.
A. Cotton Bowl, B. Franklin Field, C. Astrodome, D. Orange Bowl. And question number 9, which will be the last one. Which of these 4 NFL stadiums had the largest official seating capacity? A. FedEx Field, B. MetLife Stadium, C. Memorial Coliseum, D. AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
Now I've got to figure out
Ready.
what the real answers are.
Let's go.
Question number 1. Longest field goal in history
Field goal.
belongs to Matt Prater.
B.
B. 64 yards. Record set by Matt for the Lions in 2013. Question number 2. Patriots have won the AFC East every year since 2003 except for 2008. They lost to the Dolphins.
B.
B. Question 3. CBS paid out a $550,000 fine in relation to Janet Jackson.
Yeah, whatever
B.
she was, because I've deleted my fucking answer. Not bad.
So you got that one wrong then, yeah?
Probably.
Question 4. Tom Brady gave the Chevrolet truck to Malcolm Butler. D.
Oh, hang on. Is that question 5?
Oh,
4.
Oh, what have I done here? I think I've deleted one of my answers.
good lad.
I did have Malcolm Butler, though.
Question 5. Michael Vick was the first quarterback taken in 2001 draft. The second was Drew Brees.
B.
Skip that question. Question 6. Which NFL team never sported a logo of any kind on their helmet? Is
Browns?
the Browns. D. As of 2018, the Cleveland Browns are the last remaining NFL team not using any form of primary logo.
Good on.
Question 7. Long known by their Lone Star logo, the Dallas Cowboys were going to be called the Steers. B.
Oh, no, I got that one wrong.
For the first few months after their formation, they were known as the Steers. This was soon changed to the Rangers, and before the 1960 season, and it was finally settled on a name, the Cowboys.
Excellent.
Question 8. Which NFL stadium was the first to use artificial turf? The answer is C, the Astrodome,
Yeah, boy.
home of the Houston Oilers.
Houston.
It was also the first domed NFL stadium. And question 9. Which of these 4 NFL stadiums had the largest official seating capacity?
Cowboys. AT&T.
B, MetLife Stadium.
Whatever. What are we here?
With a peak capacity of over 100,000 spectators, AT&T Stadium has the highest capacity of any NFL stadium, but MetLife Stadium has the highest listed official seating capacity at 82,500.
Yeah, they can fit people in standing.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
There you
I
go.
got 7 out of 9.
I got 5.
Very good. Very
I
respectable.
thought it wasn't too bad for me, since I know fuck all.
Well,
There was
I'm
a considerable amount of messing about there.
really gonna. It's gonna annoy me about that quarterback now. Who had the most consecutive starts?
The Rams. That quarterback.
Rams.
So who would that be?
Could have been anyone. At any point in time, there were no years, no nothing, just who started the most. And I'm pretty sure it was Eli Manning.
For the Rams? For the Rams?
No.
They would laugh.
Most consecutive starts.
That was Eli Manning at some point, yeah.
200.
Hold on, let me-
It must be Rivers now.
276 or something.
It must be Rivers now, because I don't think he's ever missed a game.
That's what they said. They were saying that he should have maybe gone off at one point on the weekend because he was really struggling. He was doubled over in pain at one point, but they're saying he never missed a start. So there. That's us done.
Another week in the bag.
Another week in the bag.
Technically, only
2 weeks.
3 more. Because next week will be a preview of the
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl, which probably won't be a thing.
Yeah.
The week after will be a preview of the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and the week after will be the
Super Bowl.
roundup
Review.
of the official end of the season. And then we will go into hibernation, into a dark, dark corner
for the next.
for about 7
Always
months.
wanted to go into hibernation. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Although we'll pick it up again at the draft, I imagine we'll do a special draft.
Yeah, we'll do a draft special. We'll even watch it.
Well, we'll be there. We'll get our special press pass.
Invite
So-
Yeah, boy!
Yorkshire's #1 NFL
Talk about-
podcast.
No, I'm not getting voted by the FBI.
Thank you, people.
There we go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Over and out.
Oh shit.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Right. I'm gonna go pee.
Is there somebody outside that needs letting in?
Yes, I think so. I will go let him in.
Before or after you?
So there you go. What do you think to that? Week 19 in the bag. Week 20 yet to come. Only 2 games this week, and then we'll know who it is for this year's Super Bowl. Season's gone in a flash, I'm afraid. YouTubers, YouTube watchers, YouTube subscribers, if you're not a subscriber, get subscribing. Get some notification action going so you know when all the videos go up, so you know when to tune in to watch. Everybody should be jumping over to the Cookiecast.com. Check out our social media feeds, send us some social media love, get us an email sent all the way over to us, and maybe you'll get a response, maybe get even a shout out. So yeah, next week's going to be the last week of playoff reviews. We'll be able to update you with who's going to be in the Super Bowl, and head toward the end of the season. So until then, I'll say bye-bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.